Aloha, I'm Elle Cochran, running for the County of Maui, council seat for the West Maui District. And I just want to say that I'm new to this. This is my first time running, but I have that, passion, energy, and drive, willingness, and openness to learn the issues, listen to the people, the community, and really truly be the representative of the voice of our people countywide, not just my West Maui district. And it's a large area to cover, but I'm doing the best I can, trying to be everywhere. And I think that's what I hope to bring to this council, is having the open door policy, but also having that, just the open heart, open mind, and willing to listen to get all broad points of view, perspectives of whatever concerns and concerns and issues are in each individual town, community, what have you out there. And with that, that's what I hope to bring to the council.
So the first question is in regards to funding for the helicopter, air ambulance, and the fire helicopter. West Maui has been the site of several large fires in recent years. If elected to the council, would you support full funding of the Air One helicopter service, or, given the tough economic climate, advise the department to explore other options for emergency funding?
Definitely. We've had more than just a couple fire incidences lately. It was almost like every day. There's several per day even. And kudos, to the firefighters and everyone involved to help keep our community safe and making sure that traffic keeps flowing and what have you. But yes, air ambulances, I believe, is very important. I was personally in a really bad accident, and at that point, 350 feet down a cliff in Kakaloa, I may have needed that air ambulance. And I know of a family in particular, they were visitors, whose son or something, if it wasn't for the air ambulance, they would not have survived that. So even if it's just one life that we save, that's one life, that it's worth it, in my opinion, for the millions of dollars that we need to put towards it. And yes, I mean, the bottom line is, with every issue concern that we have, I believe, it's money. Where is the money's coming from? Do we have the budget for it? And of course, we need to look and research every different angle of where that can come from. There's $20 million tied up in the real property tax appeals. I mean, there's many examples. We just have to have the political will and power to get in there, research it, perhaps put more staff into it to weed through the process of how we can make it happen.
The next question is a topic that has surfaced in the past couple election cycles, the second hospital on Maui. Do you think the establishment of a second critical care facility on Maui would help serve outlying communities or deplete resources from the current Maui Memorial Medical Center?
I definitely, wholeheartedly support a second hospital in West Maui. So we talked about traffic, fires, closures of this highway really prevents people from getting, to and from. And if something happens, God forbid, to somebody, and due to the distance of trying to get them from West Maui into Central to the hospital here, it's a matter of life or death. And I would hate to look into the statistics of the cases, that if they would have had sooner, more immediate treatment, would they have survived? And I bet you there's some numbers that could be had there. And I feel that our West Maui people, my mom's elderly, and if anything happened to her in the middle of the night, what have you, I would want her to get to some help quickly. And to drive from Lahaina over to West Maui just really isn't quick enough in my eyes. But that just is one simple example with my own personal family. So yes, I support it.
Given the current economic situation, what would you do to stimulate the economy and help small businesses thrive?
I am personally a small business owner, a surf shop, and thankfully we found a perfect location. Location is true. And also we found a niche in our community that is needed. And we do rentals of surfboards and rentals of snorkel gear. The tourism industry, of course, feeds that. So I would look into, the TVR B&B issue is very controversial, but I'm completely for hoping to revamp that and making sure it's conducive for people who are following guidelines, rules, regulations, what have you, and not having a negative impact on their immediate surroundings. Then yes, I believe it's a case-by-case basis though. And I feel that at this point, we cannot put all our eggs in one basket with tourism, agriculture, or development per se, but to branch out. And people possibly, maybe they need to retrain, cross-train, learn new skills, what have you. But I think that there is a niche. All of us here have a certain gift, and we all need to find that deep within ourselves and turn it around into a money-making event or somehow educational or awareness to someone else. And all of that combined, because we're in this together, we need to make sure that we are helping one another and to help solve this economic downturn that we are in. And that's just kind of my take. And yes, if it's a matter of helping financially with people to upstart their business, then by all means, we have ways in the county to do that, and just to educate people that it's there.
This is a final question on Moku'ula in the Lahaina district. What are your thoughts on the restoration of Moku'ula after so many years of starts and stops? Is it worth the time and funding, or is valuable park space being held up in the process?
I think Moku'ula is a very, very special sacred place. I have been down there to help clean up the area, Malama, and yes, it needs to be restored. It needs to be revived. It needs to be brought back. It was the capital, the royal capital of Hawaii, and so it's a very, very special place. At the time, I think, filling it in due to the mosquito factor, turning it into a park was, at the time, they needed to do that. But right now, we need to get back, restore the sacredness of that area. And it doesn't just encompass just the Moku'ula area, but it branches out over the walls that are there into Waiоla Church. And it's a big undertaking. I 100% support it. And they're coming up with some wonderful findings. And I think it's extremely exciting to see this being uncovered day by day. So I do support it, and yes, we are lacking in open space and public parks. I believe West Maui is still in a deficit of 322 acres or so, and that is due to the fact that your developers have paid in money monetarily wise in exchange for the actual land space for our parks. And being born and raised here, it's just growing and growing population-wise. So our little parks that have been here since I was born are being overcrowded, not enough, space for recreational users. And I hope to find people who would be nice and willing enough to actually give up the land area to create park and open space for a growing population and families to enjoy.
Any closing thoughts? This is your opportunity to maybe touch upon something that I didn't ask, or to give some contact information on your campaign for your constituents.
Yeah, and in closing, I'd just like to say that I appreciate all of you out there, the viewers, the voters, taking the time to really want to research who you truly want to be your representative. And that's why I'm out there to listen, to learn, to hear really what your community needs. And I believe this election is very important, and not only that I'm in it, but also because it's the dawning of a new era. It's a dawning of a new day, and I am that fresh new voice, energetic, highly motivated, highly determined to pursue regardless of the outcome, because being a service to community and the people is my way of life. This isn't something that I'm just doing for now because I'm running a campaign, because I'm looking for supporters and votes. I'm doing it because this is what I do. This is why I wake up in the mornings. This is what I eat, live, and breathe, and I enjoy it. I will never do anything that I don't enjoy. And I think the bottom line, why I enjoy it, is because I'm learning. I'm learning so much. I'm building very meaningful relationships in this community, which I never would have had the opportunity to. And with that, it is already rewarding. And I would just like to say, we'll be here, willingness to hear, being accessible, and bringing government to a more sensible level. And I would love to have you give me that opportunity, and you can learn more about me at www.electelle.com, and that's ELLE, electelle.com. Mahalo.